Guys, I have a doozy for you today. So we've been hearing a lot about this record jobs gain this past year, and this is really what the Biden administration has been touting, is this record low unemployment, record high stock market gains. But I'm sure a lot of you know deep down in your gut that there's more to it with the story about the record low unemployment, because we all know plenty of people out there who can't find a job, who have to work two jobs, who aren't getting by. So a lot like inflation, how we're being gaslit, we're also being gaslit with this jobs data. So Zero Hedge came out with a great article called Inside the Most Ridiculous Jobs Report in Recent History. So they give an incredible breakdown step by step of how exactly the government's manipulating this jobs data. So I'm going to give you a rundown of that today, because this is definitely something you all need to know. So quick overview of the main ways they're manipulating this data. So things like the way they count second jobs as full jobs, the revisions are huge, and last but not least, what you'll see at the end, the amount of foreign-born workers who have gained jobs versus native-born workers is going to blow your mind. So definitely wait till the end to see that part. So here we go. So this chart right here, it shows the total number of hours worked. So with an unemployment rate of 3.7, one of the best we've ever seen, would you expect the hours worked in a week to be this low? So look at this chart. So the last time there was this few hours worked in the work week was during COVID, if you could believe it or not. So how is that the case when we have quote unquote record job growth, record low unemployment rate, but the lowest amount of hours worked since COVID? So here's part of the dark black magic that's behind this data. So revisions. So December decline in jobs has now been miraculously transformed into gains, says Zero Hedge. So here, check out this chart below. Ready? So the revisions were designed to give the impression that the labor market is slowing much less than it is. Before the revision in 2021, the average monthly job gain was 606 pre-revision, then 604 post. You know, that's not a huge one, but then in 2022, it went from 399 to 377. So what they do is they give a high number, a good headline number, looking like, oh, look at all these jobs. And then a few months later, they quietly revise it to a much lower number, which is closer to the truth. But this is just the tip of the iceberg of the truth. So Zero Hedge says that in 2022, they purposely report the data in a way to make 2023 appear stronger. And the average monthly increase in 2023 was revised from 225 to 255. But this was entirely due to the BLS's latest choice of seasonal adjustments, which have gone from, quote, a merely laughable to a full-on clown show. And this gain was due almost entirely to the BLS's latest way of measuring this job growth. So check this out. So this following comparison compares how the BLS measures payrolls and how the ADP measures payrolls. And the ADP stands for Automatic Data Processing, which logs direct employment numbers at the company level and is far more accurate and unbiased than the BLS numbers. And it shows a very rapidly accelerating slowdown. So the January print seasonally adjusted payrolls was up 353,000, but the unadjusted was down 2.6 million. In other words, the seasonal adjustment wipes out the entire gain in the month of January. And this part isn't unique to this year alone. So check out this chart. This has been going on the last 10 years almost. So you ever hear the saying, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining? So that's what the government's doing with the inflation data. That's what they're doing with this jobs data. Every year, every month, they're telling you, oh, record high job gains, record low unemployment. So now that you're hearing this mind-blowing stuff about the truth about the jobs market, it might make sense that you're having a difficult time finding a job. If that happens to be the case with you, I cannot recommend strongly enough to take a shot at the world of sales, because although it's incredibly difficult, it could be one of the most rewarding things you do. It's one of the only industries where you could put pure effort, desire, willpower, and transform it into a six-figure income relatively quickly, while developing your communication skills, networking ability, and all sorts of life skills you can't find anywhere else. So if this appeals to you, it is absolutely essential that you have the best communication tools possible, because in the world of sales, your phone is the most important tool that you're going to have. So you need to have the best communication platform possible. And that's why our sponsor today is Nextiva. Nextiva is one of the best communication platforms out there for people in the sales world. So whether you're in insurance, real estate, it provides massive scalability for the way that you're able to reach people. You can create phone numbers for different area codes, unlimited calling, business texting, an auto attendant, voice analytics, and so many more features that will make your business look as polished as a Fortune 500 company. And if you really want to be a pro in the sales industry, you could take it a step farther by managing all of your conversations and engagements with customers in one powerful, easy-to-use app called Nextiva One. This means no more switching between a dozen different apps to get the job done. Go to trynextiva.com/Brandon to get up to 50% off your plan. It's linked in the description below. Again, that's trynextiva.com/Brandon, a link below. Let's get back to the video. But look at this chart. The last 10 years has been nothing close to the truth. There's almost a 2 to 3 million job deficit every January at the beginning of the year. And hey, we're just getting started here. So the Biden administration is hanging on the success of the seasonal adjustments, but when you dig deeper into the job report, much more ugly things start to appear, such as the latest divergence between the establishment payrolls and the much more accurate household. So while in January, the BLS claims 353,000 payrolls were added, the household survey found that the number of actual employed workers dropped again, this time by 31,000. This means that while payrolls hit new all-time highs every month since December 2020, when you measure with the BLS, this means that while payroll series hit new all-time highs every month since December 2020, when according to the BLS, the US had its last month of payroll losses, the level of employment has barely budged in the past year. Even worse, as shown in the chart below, such a gaping divergence has opened between the two series in the past 4 years that the number of employed workers would need to soar by 9 million to catch up to what payroll claims is the employment situation. Gaslighting to the fullest extent. And we're just getting started, there's even more. So shifting from a quantitative to qualitative assessment reveals just how ugly the composition of new jobs has been. So consider this. The BLS reports that in January 2024, the US had 133.1 million jobs, 133 million full-time jobs, and 27.9 million part-time jobs. Okay, great. Until you look back 1 year and find that in February 2023, the US had 133.2 million full-time jobs, or more than it does 1 year later. So yes, all the job gains they keep bragging about have been part-time jobs, which have increased by 870,000 since February of 2023. So here's a look at the labor composition over the past year. All the jobs have been part-time jobs. But wait, there's even more. So here's the craziest one of them all. So, with the context of the record amount of illegal immigrants crossing the border into the United States, wait till you see what the difference is between immigrant job gains and native-born job gains. So Zero Hedge found that in January, the number of native-born workers tumbled again, sliding by 560,000 to just 129.8 million. So if you add this to the December data, it's a near record 1.9 million job loss in the last 2 months for native-born people. So not only has all job creation in the last 4 years been exclusively for foreign-born workers, but there's been absolutely zero job creation for native-born workers since July of 2018. How does that make you feel? Not just that this is happening, but every month, if you say anything about the economy being bad, not working in your favor, you're feeling the pinch of inflation. They're telling you, no, inflation's gone. You're feeling the pinch of, hey, it's actually hard to find a good job right now. They're saying, no, it's the best time ever to be trying to find a job. There's plenty of jobs. Look, we just had another consecutive record month of job growth. But in reality, massive lie. All these jobs are going to foreign-born workers. They're stating that they created more jobs than were actually created, then quietly revising it later. And they're measuring your second job that you're working on the side as a job towards the overall economy. So guys, this is why I say that the government is gaslighting the entire population to the highest magnitude. Whether it's the way they changed how they measure the inflation data, whether it's telling you that it's the best time ever to go out there and get a job, is literally the definition of gaslighting. Conditions are brutal. They're putting you at a severe disadvantage and telling you it's the best time ever to be a participating member of this economy. So the difficult thing about this is that it's very in the weeds type of stuff, and you really have to do a deep dive into it. I'm somebody who literally goes out and studies this macro stuff for fun because I think it's interesting and important, but I sort of had to go out of my way to wrap my head around how they do this. So I can't imagine the normal person who just pays attention to normal things ever stumbling across this. So I cannot urge you enough to share this with as many people as possible because, hopefully I explained it in a way where, anybody can explain it, share it to somebody, spread the word. But, our government has to be held accountable for this. This is total BS, and we cannot let them get away with it. As always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Definitely share. God bless.